Day one of the Pittsburgh Steelers mandatory minicamp practice is officially in the books. And with that being said, we have more news, notes, highlights, observations from another day in Pittsburgh from practice. And in this video, we're going to break down a couple of guys who look good. Also, we're going to break down Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, both looking electric in camp so far. And the QB battle is going to continue into mandatory minicamp and then training camp as well, but also going to break down some major talking points of the Pittsburgh Steelers of mandatory minicamp and what you guys need to keep your eye on out going forward. Now, as we always do, before we jump into the video and break down everything you need to know about the Steelers mandatory minicamp, I need you guys to do me a favor, and I want to give a major shout out to all of the Steelers media members out there who work so hard each and every single day to get these highlights out for us, kind of, enabling us to make these videos. And again, without them, the videos aren't possible. So go follow them on Twitter. They're going to keep you guys updated with all the highlights you need to see from here, mandatory minicamp to training camp to in-season practices. These guys are going to be working, extremely hard from here on out. So go give them a big follow on Twitter. You're going to see their ads at the top left of your screen. And with that being said, let's kind of dive into the video. Now, we got to hear a little bit from Arthur Smith today during practice. And basically, he told us what we already knew, right? Saying that, Russell's in pole position in the competition. And obviously, we'll get to that Latrobe. We'll get to Latrobe, and I'm sure things will heat up, right? Basically, training camp, things will start to heat up. But both those guys knew that whenever they got here and were acquired, and we've been very transparent, basically saying that both these guys know that they have to come in here and compete each and every single day, right? But also, they know Russell Wilson is, been showing out so far, and he's been, brought over here to be that day one starter. Now, that doesn't mean that Justin Fields doesn't have an opportunity. It doesn't mean that Justin Fields doesn't have a shot of getting in-game packages where Russell Wilson's a starter and Justin Fields gets packages. Comment down below, do you think that would be a good idea or no? Just put good idea or bad idea for Justin Fields in the comment section down below. But I think it is very, possible that you see different plays with Justin Fields as your quarterback, even if Russell Wilson is your starter. Now, with that being said, I wanted to address how things are looking, right? Now, listen, Russell Wilson looks like Russell Wilson, okay? There's not really too much to say, but this dude looks like the guy that we saw in Seattle a couple years ago, his stop in Denver. That doesn't tell you who Russell Wilson really is. But what we're starting to see him do now is kind of amazing. Now, I think it is really underrated, the factor of them going out there, bringing in Arthur Smith as a guy who really knows how to get the run game going, which is going to take pressure off the quarterback for the majority of the game. But also, it's going to open up deep shots down the field because when you get a Najee Harris going, when you get a Jalen Warren going, it's going to create the safeties that come up, right? Start playing an extra safety in the box or playing that cover one robber or that double mug look, right? And when you get those type of looks defensively, that's when you're going to be able to sell the play action. And Russell Wilson has been known as one of the best play action quarterbacks in football, right? But then you talk about Justin Fields too, and actually we'll talk about Justin Fields in 1 second, but Russell Wilson just seems like he is a perfect fit for this offense. Not only will they be able to find shots down the field to Calvin Austin or Quez Watkins, whoever wins that wide receiver role, alongside George Pickens in what seems to be Roman Wilson right now, but could also be Van Jefferson. They have so many different options, right? But also you look at the 12 personnel set with Darnell Washington and Pat Freiermuth. I mean, those guys are going to be massive in the running game as well. But overall, I think Russell Wilson just screams starter for this team. And so far in camp and so far in mandatory minicamp, the dude is having unbelievable days where he just looks like he is that guy, right? But then we talk a little bit about Justin Fields. And I mean, Justin Fields adds so much versatility as someone who can get outside the pocket, extend plays with his legs, and, make plays with his legs as well. So, listen, again, I'm telling you guys right now, he is going to be someone, Justin Fields, who is going to work. We heard earlier in the offseason, he's here to compete. He's not here to be your backup, right? We're going to get more into it in a second. Before we get back into the video, do me a big favor, guys. hit the like button just so we can get this video out to more Steelers fans around the world. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and we will be covering the Steelers throughout the entirety of the offseason. Mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular season. Once the season does get kicked off, not only are we going to be breaking down all coaches or all 22 coaches' film so you guys can get more videos throughout the season, but also we're going to be live streaming some Steelers games on my Twitch. If you want to watch these games with me, kind of react to it, break down the plays live, follow me on Twitch. It's Matty Dubs with 3 S's, or you can find the link in the description. So make sure you guys do that. But hey, massive, right? QBs look absolutely amazing, way better, miles and miles ahead of where they were last year. But also, Mike Tomlin signed the extension. He will be here through 2027, which is massive news. We covered a video just about that. I think my last Steelers video was covering that. But with that being said, Mike Tomlin addressed the media today after practice, said Najee Harris had a prior appointment today and his minicamp absence was excused, and he will be expected to be at camp tomorrow. Now, another big thing about today's practice is Cordell Patterson, man. Cordell Patterson is probably going to be one of the most underrated signings of this offseason, strictly because of what he can do on special teams. And with the new kickoff rule, it's going to allow guys like Cordell Patterson and Calvin Austin to contribute so much more, but also the strategy-wise and special teams coaches are that much more valuable now. I am so excited to see what the Steelers do, man. And now that you have Cordell Patterson, back there returning kicks, I think that this special teams or special teams around the league are going to be so much more important for winning football games. So I do think that them going out there stealing Cordell Patterson is a massive plus, and I'm excited how he's going to fit in here. But, man, overall, when you talk about today's practice, a lot of good things, man. The O-line is, building and building every single day. The quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs are building that rapport every single day. And you know what? The pads are going to come on in a couple weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, whatever it may be, right? And that's when we're going to start noticing who's really standing out, right? We could sit here all day and say guys look good against air, guys look good with no pads and no contact, right? But at the end of the day, what matters the most is the chemistry building, right? The guys getting in the reps, getting in the cardio, and getting into football shape. And I think that is the most important thing, man. Overall, if you want to talk about guys who have been looking really good and guys, to look out for going forward, I'm going to say Calvin Austin's one of them. I'm going to say Darnell Washington is another one. This is tough. I'm going to pick 5 players. I have 2 right now. I'm going to say Nick Herbig. I think he's going to have a massive year. I think you got to keep your eye out on Cam Sutton. I think he's going to fit right back in that nickel role. I think he's going to be massive. I don't want to say a starter for this last one, a low-key player. I'm going to say Corey Trice. Corey Trice is another guy. Look out for. These are the 5 guys I think could have potential to really take a step up this year and be massive for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are some underrated guys. Obviously, the starters, Pat Queen, I could have said him easily. Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, right? Those guys are going to be good. Even the Minkas and the Sean Elliott, Joey Porter Jr., Dante Jackson. But I want to go to the underrated guys that I think that could be nasty. So hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. Great day of practice. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields look electric, and man, they're going to keep grinding. So join the family. I'll see you in the next Steelers update. Peace.